SUVs don't come cheap. Some will cost you an arm and a leg to bring home, and that's where used options come in. They cost a fraction of the original price, making them more affordable to many people. Realistically, however, used SUVs are not as cheap as they sound. You must factor in the maintenance and repair, which can sometimes be very costly if you don't shop right. I decided to inquire from Consumer Reports about the vehicles to avoid, and I was surprised to discover 108 vehicles listed among the worst to buy, and a good number of them are SUVs. According to the consumer watchdog, these vehicles have a worse than average reliability score, which means most customers think that they are worse to drive and own than the average car. So, we're looking at vehicles likely to break down easily and may require more regular maintenance. If you're looking for a used car that will save you money, these are definitely not the ones. Since I can't cover all the SUVs on the Consumer Reports blacklist, I'll review the 10 worst in terms of the car model and the year to avoid. Number 1 will surprise you. In number 10, Porsche Macan 2015 and 2016 edition. The Porsche Macan is an exciting luxury compact SUV compared to the BMW and the Lexus NX in style, elegance and in-car technology. Like its competition, the Porsche Macan doesn't come cheap. Its 2023 edition, for example, has a starting price of $60,000, which some car enthusiasts may argue is reasonable for an SUV with a horsepower of 261 and can sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds. You can expect this SUV at a lower price if buying used, but that's when the expenses start piling up. According to hotcars.com, you can expect the repairs to cost you over $20,000 in the next 10 years of buying used. Quick math will tell you that that's the price of a decent brand new SUV. Hotcars.com further mentions that the SUV has a 60.89% chance of requiring significant repair within its first 10 years. And according to Consumer Reports, are the 2015 and 2016 for the reasons I've mentioned. Number 9. Nissan Pathfinder 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2017 edition. A brand new 2023 Nissan Pathfinder goes for $35,520 to $50,190, which means you expect a used option to go for at least $10,000 depending on the generation. While $10,000 may appear affordable, you must worry about the maintenance and repair costs. Consumer Reports ranks the 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2017 Nissan Pathfinder among the worst regarding reliability. For example, the NHTSA recalled the 2013 and 2014 editions more than 10 times for issues like poor exterior lighting, failed airbags, transmission failure, reduced braking, and loss of drive power. Such issues translate to expensive repairs, and you wouldn't want that. So, the Nissan Pathfinder may not be the ideal SUV to buy used. In number 8, GMC Acadia 2011, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017 and 2020 edition. The GMC Acadia is arguably one of the most affordable SUVs, especially if you consider an edition before 2015. You can get a new GMC Acadia 2008 to 2014 edition for $5,425 to $10,000. This means you can get a used option for much cheaper. The only issue is that the maintenance and repairs are not that cheap. According to Consumer Reports, the GMC Acadia 2011, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017 and 2020 editions are among the worst used SUVs to buy for their below-par reliability scores. The NHTSA has recalled these models for issues like electrical system faults, reduced visibility, and airbag deployment malfunctions. Those are signs that you'll have problems with the GMC Acadia, which will be expensive to fix. In number 7, Buick Enclave 2011, 2012 and 2018 editions. For those looking for a minivan-like family-friendly SUV, the Buick Enclave is such a superb choice. The Consumer Reports, however, think that the 2011, 2012, and 2018 editions are amongst the worst SUVs to buy used for their below-average reliability. For example, the 2011 and 2012 editions were recalled 6 times by the NHTSA for issues like faulty airbag deployment, poor visibility, and unsecured seatbelts, which are safety concerns and point to an expensive car to maintain and repair. According to Consumer Reports, most consumers also don't like the fact that the SUV is not fuel economical. And when it comes to buying, a 2023 edition costs at least $44,800, which means you are likely to spend half of that on a used option, which is not cheap either. Wait a minute, I know you're enjoying this video. What about you give me a thumbs up by liking it, then subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on our latest epic videos. Let's continue. In number 6. GMC Yukon 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017 editions. The GMC Yukon is notable for its large imposing visage, high-powered engine, and luxurious appeal, making it almost unmissable. But often, that means paying more for this large luxurious SUV. The 2023 edition, for instance, has a starting price of $57,400, which is relatively high, but that's not the only concern. The SUV is also expensive to maintain, and reports by Consumer Reports show that it's likely to have brakes, airbag deployment, powertrain transmission, and engine cooling issues. Other recalls point to steering difficulty, failed seatbelts, and failed sensors. All those issues add to the SUV's expensive maintenance and ownership costs, making it not ideal when buying used. In particular, Consumer Reports list the GMC Yukon 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017 editions as the worst in this family. In number 5. Ford Explorer 2011, 2016, 2017, and 2020 editions. The Ford Explorer has been breathtaking in the mid-size SUV sector for decades, so you don't expect it to fall on this list. Well, not all Ford Explorers are bad. In fact, most models are incredible performance, reliable and fantastic to ride on all-terrain. The issue is with the 2011, 2016, 2016, 2017 and 2020 editions, which the Consumer Reports class among the worst regarding reliability. The 2011 edition, for example, has been recalled 7 times by the NHTSA for reliability issues such as steering difficulty, loss of control, unreliable seatback and suspension failure. That means spending more on repairs, money you could use elsewhere. So, if you are looking for an SUV that will save you cash, the Ford Explorer 2011, 2016, 2017, and 2020 are not ideal options. In number 4. BMW X3 2013, 2015, and 2020 editions. The BMW X3 is such a fantastic choice for small families. The 5-seater compact crossover SUV has enough space for 5 family members, and you can load a few cargos. It's also glamorous and has a luxurious top-end feel. The problem is that it's not just an expensive SUV, but also expensive to maintain. The 2023 edition, for example, costs at least $45,000, but according to hotcars.com, you will likely incur up to a third of that cost, roughly $17,711 in maintenance and repairs within a decade of ownership. Moreover, the SUV has a 54.61% chance of needing a major repair within the timeline. Clearly, this is a costly SUV to buy used. Consumer Reports list the 2013, 2015, and 2020 editions among the worst cars today for their worse than average reliability score. So, they are the ones to avoid the most. In number 3. BMW X5 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2019 editions. The BMW X5 is another luxurious SUV from the BMW family you would rather stay away from if you plan to buy a used car. Cost-wise, this SUV doesn't come cheap, as you must part away with at least $65,200, excluding add-ons. That's, however, not the only cost concern. According to Hotcast.com, this luxurious, agile, well-rounded SUV will cost you at least $18,389 in repairs and maintenance within a decade of ownership and has a 54.6% chance of needing a major repair. You can, however, expect to relax a little during the first 5 years of ownership, only to be bombarded by unending repairs and maintenance costs during the 5 years. According to Consumer Reports, the models to avoid in this family for reliability issues include 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2019 editions. In number 2, Porsche Cayenne, 2014 and 2016 editions. The Porsche Cayenne is another luxurious SUV that's almost a nightmare to drive because of its expensive maintenance costs, let alone repairs. Price-wise, this mid-size crossover SUV costs a fortune. The 2023 edition, for instance, costs at least $72,000, which is enormous considering you can get a decent SUV for that price. The biggest cost concern, however, is the maintenance, which according to Hotcast.com is pretty high. You should expect to spend at least $20,522 in maintenance and repairs within a decade of ownership of this SUV. And the vehicle has a 61% chance of needing a major repair. So, the SUV is one to avoid when looking to save, and according to Consumer Reports, the worst models for the family are the 2014 and 2016 editions, as they are the least reliable. In number 1, Dodge Durango, 2016, 2017, and 2018 edition. The worst SUV to buy used in my list comes from the Dodge Durango family, and we're talking about the 2016, 2017, and 2018 models according to Consumer Reports. These models suffer from issues related to the electrical system, brakes, interior lighting, and engine cooling, which explain why the NHTSA has repeatedly recalled the SUV. The 2023 edition, for example, was recalled 4 times for issues relating to the powertrain transmission, speed control, electrical system and brakes, which mean more maintenance costs. Also, given that the 2023 Dodge Durango costs at least $40,140, you can expect the vehicle to incur more maintenance and repair costs, making its used version a no-go zone. Now, you have 10 of the worst SUVs you should avoid buying as they are expensive to maintain and repair. As you disregard them, here is another interesting video on used SUVs with 100,000 miles that you love. See you there.